Hello students, now in previous video we have been seeing the definition of statistics, importance of statistics, scopes of statistics, and also we have been seeing the types of data collection. You know there are two types of data collection, primary data and secondary data. Primary data is collected by the researcher on its own basis, while the secondary data is collected from some other sources, that the various sources that are newspaper, internet, various agencies, means that one we are not collected on our own basis. Okay, now let us see the types of data. Now again there are two types of data, that is first one attributes. Now what is mean by attribute? The qualitative characters are known as attributes. A simple thing, a qualitative characters are known as attributes. That is data which can be described only. The quality we can describe only. So qualitative, and we can describe that one only. For example, I can say religion, blood group, honesty. We cannot measure this. Honesty, literacy, gender, etc. Okay. Now the another type of data is variables. Now the quantitative characters are known as variables. The quantitative, now the quantity means we can measure it. So that is a data which can be measured only. For example, income, height, weight, rainfall, temperature, etc. These can be measured only. Now let us see the types of variables. So there are two types of variables. One is discrete variable and other is continuous variable. Let us see types of variables. So there are two types of variables. The first one, discrete variable. Now you know variable is a quantitative character. So the variables which take only particular values, in the given range are known as discrete variables. The observations on discrete variables are obtained by counting. We can count them. Are obtained by counting. It is a particular range. For example, number of children in a family, number of defective articles, then number of telephone calls, arrived at a telephone booth, in a particular time period. This is what the examples of discrete variable. This is take particular values in a given range. Now second thing, continuous variable. So what does this? The variable or the variables which can assume the value in a given range, which can assume any value in the given range, are known as continuous variables. Now the values of these variables are obtained by measuring, or the observations on continuous variables are obtained by measuring. Here it is counting, here it is measuring. For example, height, weight of a person, rainfall in percentage, or rainfall, then percentage of marks, those things we need to measure. Length of roads produced, etc. These are the examples. Here these things we need to count. Here these things we need to measure. This is the basic difference among the discrete variable and the continuous variable. Now the next one, let us see the methods of classification and the frequency distribution. Now let us see methods of classification and frequency distribution. In that one, first, what is meant by frequency? So the number of observation in a class is called frequency. Number of observations in a class is called frequency. For example, there are marks of students in between a range 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. And how many number of students? Now in between 0 to 10 there are 4 students. Between 10 to 20 there are 10 students. 20 to 30 there are 23 students. And 30 to 40 suppose there are 12 students. So these are nothing but what? Frequency. Number of observation in a class. In this class, these many observations. In this class, these many observations. So these are what? The frequency. Now, the next one, frequency distribution. Frequency distribution. Now, what is meant by frequency distribution? So it is a table. It is a very simple thing. A table containing class intervals along with frequencies. Is called as frequency distribution. So here also look at, this is marks and number of students. These are class intervals. Marks are nothing but the class intervals. And here the number of students are nothing but the frequencies of that. So this is one of the example of what? Frequency distribution. It is a table containing these two things is what? A frequency distribution. Now suppose let us see some more definitions. Now before that, let me write an example. Consider an example. Marks and number of students. Suppose 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. And here number of students between 0 to 10 suppose 3, 20 to 20 suppose 10, and 20 to 30 suppose 15. So this is one of the frequency distribution. This is a frequency distribution. It is a table. Okay, now let us see some definitions from this. Suppose the first definition is of class marks. Class marks are also known as mid values. Mid values is very easy to remember you, but the other name is class mark. Mostly this is used here, so I haven't written that one before. The mid values or class marks. The first definition, suppose it is a midpoint of class interval. It is a midpoint of class interval. It is a midpoint of class interval. And what is the formula for it? I can write mid value equal to, for each class, it is upper limit. Here this 10 is upper limit, 0 is a lower limit of this class. This class consisting the values from 0 to 10, marks from 0 to 10. Again this is a lower limit, this 20 is upper limit, again 20 is a lower limit, 30 is a upper limit. So upper limit plus lower limit upon 2. Addition of upper limit and lower limit upon 2 means the average of the upper limit and lower limit, the values of upper limit and lower limit is what? The mid value. So here, what is the mid value here? I can say the mid value for this class is what? 5. 10 plus 0 upon 2, so 5. Here 20 plus 10 means 30 upon 2, so it will be 15. Again 30 plus 20 is 50. 50 by 2 is 25. So here 5, 15 and 25 are the class marks for this one. So therefore the mid values of considered example are 5, 15, 25. Okay. Now let us see the next definition, that is class width. Now what is meant by class width? It is actual length of class interval. It is actual length of class interval. Actual length of class interval. How does it determine? Class width equal to upper limit or upper boundary. Upper limit, or it can be written as boundary. Upper limit or boundary minus lower limit. Lower limit or lower boundary. So here 10 minus 0, so 10. 20 minus 10 is also 10. 30 minus 20 is also 10. Therefore the class width of considered example is how what? Considered example is 10. Here we can say it is 10. Now the third one, the next definition, class limits. Class limits. Now what does this? The two numbers designating the class interval. The class interval The two numbers designating the class interval are called as class limits. Are called as class limits. For example, here the first class interval is what? 0 to 10. So this implies 0 and 10 are the class limits. Here. Okay. Now next definition is class boundaries. Now the class boundaries are needed or are needed to make classes continuous. Now what is meant by classes continuous? Classes are not continuous. So let me explain that thing by example. Now as we have taken an example, marks, number of students. Now marks between 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, number of students 3, 10, 12, whatever it. Now another example, suppose this is first one. Now the another example, let me take class limits and the frequencies. Okay. Now the class limits are 10 to 19, 20 to 29 and 30 to 39. Suppose the frequencies are 5, 7, 11. Okay. Now here the upper limit of first class and the lower limit of the next class are same. So this is what? Continuous classes. These are what? Continuous class intervals. These are continuous class intervals. Here also the lower limit of second class and the upper limit of second class and the lower limit of next class are same. So this is continuous class interval. But why? Look at here. Here what happened? Here these are not same. Similar thing here also. These are not same. This is an example of discontinuous class intervals. Discontinuous class intervals. So here to make these things continuous, we need class boundaries. Now how does we make them continuous? Let us see here. Before that, let me write down some thing about the class boundaries. Some more things about class boundaries. The class boundaries are the numbers. The class boundaries are the numbers up to which the actual magnitude of observation in the class can extend. The class boundaries are also called as actual limits, or when they are not continuous, that time they are called extended limits. Now let me take an example. The same one, let me take class limits. Suppose 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39. So now here to make them continuous, what we need to do, we have to subtract 10 minus 0.5 to 19 plus 0.5. Then 20 minus 0.5 to 29 plus 0.5. Here 30 minus 0.5 to 39 plus 0.5. Then this will become, let me write class boundaries. This will become 10 minus 0.5 means it will become 9.5 to 19.5. Then it will become 19.5 to 29.5. Then again this is 29.5 to 39.5. Now maybe question in your mind, why we have been subtracted and added 0.5 here. Now look at what is the difference between this 19 and 20 is 1. So 1 by 2 is same as 0.5. So we have to subtract 0.5 from lower limit and add 0.5 in upper limit. Now here these are same, these are also same, so they becomes what? Continuous. So as such they becomes continuous. Now the next definition is open-end class. Open-end class. So what does this say? A class in which one of the limit is not specified. One of the limit is not specified is called as open-end class. Is called as open-end class. For example, daily sales in rupees. It is, suppose first class is below 2000 to 3000, 3000 to 4000 and 4000 and above. So now here we below 2000. So here we can say 0 to 2000, 100 to 1000, 100 to 2000, 1000 to 2000, 1500 to 2000. Any value we can take here. Similarly here 4000 to 5000, 4000 to 6000, 4000 to 7000, 4000 to 10,000, whatever it. So these things are here. These are what here? The limit are not specified. We can take any value here. This is not specified. So these are what? Open-end classes. These are open-end classes. So if any limit, either upper limit or a lower limit, is not specified, such classes are known as open-end classes. Now let us see the methods of classification. Now there are two methods of classification. One is inclusive method and other is exclusive method. Methods of classification. So first one, inclusive method. So let me write that. In this method, the observation equal to upper limit is included in the same class. Therefore the method is called as inclusive method. It can be noted that the upper limit of class is not the lower limit of succeeding class. Therefore a discontinuity is observed. Between classes. For example, as we saw, class limits, discontinuity observed, that is 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39. Here the upper limit of previous class and the lower limit of succeeding class are not same. So means this limit is included in one class only. It is not included in next class. So it is included in the same class. This also included in the same class. So this is what inclusive method. Now second one is exclusive method. Now here in this method the observation equal to upper limit does not belong to the same class. Here it is not belong to only one class, same class. It is included in the next class. Therefore the method is called exclusive method. In this case, upper limit of one class of one class is the lower limit of subsequent class. Lower limit of subsequent class. The classes are observed to be continuous without any gap. For example, as we saw, marks, so 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, as such. Now here, this 10, we won't consider 10 here. We will consider 10 here. So from here, we have to exclude it. We don't consider it here. We will consider it in next class. So that's why this method is known as exclusive method. But here this thing not happen. Here this 19 we have to consider in the same class, because 19 is not here. So in the same class, so that's why it is what? Inclusive method, and here it is exclusive method. Now in next video we will see a cumulative frequency, how to determine a cumulative frequency, relative frequency, and the graphical representation of the given data. Thank you.